involved with Griffin Johnson? I mean, you all were instrumental in him acquiring part of Sandman.
Yeah. So it all started with ABR, the
America's Best Racing.
America's Best, part of the Jockey Club. And they started the program 3 years ago, a stake in stardom. And what the intent was to give people, that had followers, that had some notoriety in society, a chance to own horses and to kind of explore and experience what it's like to be an owner and to become more involved in the business. And so my daughter-in-law was in fashion before she met my son, and knew a friend of Griffin. So last year when ABR was looking around and really trying to pick the best influencers, I got a call from my daughter-in-law. She said, I got an idea. So it really hatched with her. And then I linked her up with the ABR people who've done just a really great job on this program. And everybody thinks it's just about getting an influencer and putting them in the spot, but it's not. It's right, not about just putting up posts. It's about being strategic. It's about thinking about it. It's about really getting a better feel for the industry. And I think it's all really starting to come together, and it's really showing, a couple weeks before Derby, really showing the fruits of the labor of all that pre-work and all the work and thought and all the strategy that they put into this program. He owns 2.5% of the total horse, and last year, about a week after we bought him, I was like, this horse is, a really nice prospect. So it's not like a bolt-on like a month ago. So he was in the partnership last March, and so he's ridden the whole thing. Oh yeah, right after the horse was bought and sold at the 2-year-old sale. So he's been through it, and I think that part of this has been, very good for the whole process, because he knew that he had to learn the business and really dive in. And it didn't take him long. I'd say like a month or two. When you talk to him, you got a sense that he was really studying. He was just the way he was talking, and he talked in a way that somebody who had been involved in the business a month or two should not have been talking, because he had I'd say the vernacular, and he'd had a sense of the players in the industry and trainers and owners. So everything just came together, and he has worked really, really hard over the last 12 months, as has ABR. I mean, it's been a team effort, so I'm very proud of that team.
That's amazing. Obviously, Sandman was a pricey horse, but he was bought to be a Derby horse. So it wasn't like, you weren't completely in the dark, saying this is the horse. But you thought if ever there was a horse, Sandman would be the one.
I mean, yes, I think that's a good way to describe it. I mean, after I met him, I was like, this could really work out. I just had such a good feel, and everybody on the team had such a good feel, like engaging with Griffin and all that he brought to the table. So if you're going to swing big, if you're going to swing big, and I thought this was a perfect situation, as did the team. So I really just supplied the product. They have been at the forefront, and I marvel, and I'm just a bystander here.
Did he buy the 2.5%, or was that part of this whole deal?
We gave him the 2.5%. So that was our look. We're all searching, and we're trying to figure out how to push this business forward. And the business has been good to me, and I'll always try, especially if people and entities are doing new things and they're trying new things. So.
Yeah, well, that's him behind you, packed up.
Awesome. He's a cutie pie.
That whole ride, he was bought to be this horse, but, then you went through, the prep season. He was always coming on and this and finally putting it all together in the Arkansas Derby.
Well, this is our 8th time. So to have a Derby runner, it's an honor. Once you're in the game, in a short period of time, you realize how tough it is to get here and how many people want to be here. So the 20 entities, actually, they're 19, right? Because I think Starlight has 2. I think they're the only ones that have 2, or that group.
They do.
So you know, you don't take that lightly, and you get up every morning and you're very appreciative, and you're very grateful for that. And it's you know, been a great ride. And I think with a little bit more luck out at Oaklawn, we could have won one or two more, and we would have been into Louisville with a 3-race winning streak. And you know, I think the vibe would have been even better. But we're okay. We're okay. He's come forward every week over the winter and the spring, and you know, I think if we run well on Saturday, I think it'll show the thought and the strategy and really the horsemanship that Mark Cassey and his team have put forward with this horse. I think it's a master class, and I hope we can show the world that master class.
So West Point, you were involved with the Derby winner before with Always Dreaming in 2017. He ended up the favorite.
He
Right?
did.
He was the Florida Derby winner. Is it a similar experience or a different experience this go round?
Well, they both are very well thought of. Always Dreaming was on the other end of the spectrum of this horse. He was so keen and so strong, actually too strong the first part of the week, and he ran off one day in the mud here, and so Todd made some very smart changes.
Very famously put on the draw reins in a different rider.
Exactly. You remember? That's a great memory.
Yes, because I mean it was unusual for a Derby winner to have that kind of equipment, you know, because you wondered what's going to happen in the Derby. But boy.
Yeah, and so we were all like, I think if we would have taken a vote, a blind vote, I think most of the ownership group would have said we're going to have a tough time walking over there in front of 150,000 people after seeing his week here. And he walked on the racetrack at the start of the walkover, and he took a deep breath, and he just kind of said, I'm here, I'm going to keep my cool. And he walked over the paddock, and he was cool as a cucumber. So I don't know, I think that might have been meant to be for Always Dreaming that day. I mean, obviously after the Derby, he never won another race. Unfortunately, he passed a couple months ago of colic, but he brought a lot of dreams, and he made a lot of dreams come true for a lot of people. Lived in Bowling Green for 6 years.
6 years already. So,
yeah. So my son, my grandson is just ready to turn 6. So we scooted down to Bowling Green to see, you know, for the birth of my grandson.
How's that working out? Because we always claim you as, you know, your home track is Kentucky Downs, which races 7 days a year.
We love Kentucky Downs. It's fun. It's a great place. It's a very vibrant place, and man, the people just love. All in all, where they're at in the state of Kentucky, we're right next to Tennessee, but I don't know. There's a great community feel in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I'm proud to be a resident. Kentucky, right, has become our home, and you know, you get to know people, and obviously the thoroughbred racehorse and the industry are front and center in our state, our Commonwealth. So I couldn't think of a better place to live if you were, you know, fully engaged in the racehorse business.